For the champions, welcome to the Sports Chat. This is Starr 103.5 FM. You're simply the best radio. Thank you so much for choosing us. Good morning to you, wherever you're doing the listening from. And of course, don't forget that it is the Sports Chat. The show is live on Facebook. Get to Facebook Starr 103.5 FM, and you can get to join us there, right? So we're back with Champions League football. Match day 6 yesterday ended in the Champions League. Interesting games that happened yesterday, and of course on Tuesday. Now the men are being separated from the boys are being separated from the men. Trust me, it is looking very, very interesting in the new Champions League format. 36 teams have been put together, and the first 8 would of course qualify automatically for the round of 16. Then those that find themselves from the 9th to the 24th position would be pitched to play in two game playoff, and then the 25th to the 36th positions will get eliminated. So it has been interesting so far. 6 match games, and we have 2 games to go. And I'll bring you how the table is actually looking like, of course, in the UEFA Champions League. But let's start off with this quote, and it says the best teams have chemistry. They communicate with each other and sacrifice personal glory for the common goal. It is a quote coming in from former professional football player Hope Solo. He says the best teams have chemistry, they communicate with each other and sacrifice personal glory for the common goal. Okay, so let's start off from the 2034 World Cup. Okay. So let's start off from the Amputee World Cup, because we understand that Africa has been allotted 7 slots. So Africa has been allotted 7 slots for the Amputee World Cup that will be happening in 2026. Don't forget that Ghana actually qualified after winning gold this year, the African Amputee AFCON, and so Africa would have 7 slots, Europe would have 7 slots, North and Central America would have 3 slots, South America would have 3 slots, and then Asia would have 4 slots there. So Amputee Football World Cup 2026, Ghana will be there. Of course, Ghana picked up the first slot because they are champions of Africa. So let's now move on from Ghana, and let's move straight to Saudi Arabia, because they've been confirmed as a host for the 2034 FIFA World Cup, making a historic first for the country, as it will single-handedly organize the tournament with 48 teams. So this comes after Spain, Portugal, and Morocco were choosing to host the 2030 edition. So don't forget that the 2030 World Cup would be hosted. We'll see co-host Spain, Portugal, and Morocco host the World Cup in there. And the 2034 World Cup, we would see Saudi Arabia host all matches at first in the expanded 48 team format. So, you know, for the first time, it is going to be 48. We would see USA and Canada host it, but then in 2034 Saudi Arabia would be the first country to host the 48 team tournament. So I would include 15 host cities, 15 stadiums, and then 134 training facilities. It promises to be awesome. Yes, it promises to be awesome. Let's see. Let's hope that Ghana can qualify for the next one and the next one, and then we'll be able to part of the 2034 World Cup there. Okay, let's move on to European football. And yesterday, the Champions League, Manchester City were in action. Yes, Manchester City are going down the drain. They are going down the drain. And Manchester City suffered a 2-0 defeat to Juventus. Dusan Vlahovic's header and then Weston McKennie's volley in the second half secured all 3 points for the home side, boosting their own hopes of progressing automatically to the next stage as one of the top 8 sides in the league phase of the competition. But the defeat meant Manchester City have just won 1 of their last 10 games in all competitions. With this, their 7th loss during that run. It leaves them 22nd in the Champions League table with just 2 games remaining. Reacting to the defeat, Pep Guardiola insists that his players gave everything despite another loss to Juventus.
Really good. So we missed the last pass, the last action, and we arrived. So we conceded few. Of course, some transition happened, but I'm so proud of these players. So and I think that they give everything and they tried, and now we live in this period, and hopefully we can change we got results. I know it's difficult, today always is difficult in Champions League in Europe, but we play really good.
And that is Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola cannot speak. Yes. The man is down. The man is so down. Let's move from Manchester and get to London, because Arsenal, Bukayo Saka scored twice as Arsenal beat Monaco to strengthen their position as one of the sides likely to progress to the knockout stage of the Champions League. The Gunners were on top in the first half, but missed a number of chances to make the outcome even more comfortable. Arsenal took the lead in the 34th minute through Bukayo Saka. He got his brace in the 74th minute before Kai Havertz wrapped up the victory for the Gunners in the 88th minute. Speaking after the game, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says he's pleased with the result.
Well, very happy, obviously, scoring 3 goals, keeping the clean sheet and winning the game. Extremely happy. We started the game very well. The first half, it should have been 3 or 4 at least, and then we could have put the game to bed. We didn't. And in the Champions League, we're going to have difficult moments, and we had for a period of time, probably longer than expected, because we weren't precise enough, we didn't adjust the press well enough, and we suffered. But then with the second goal, I felt the game was in control, and happy to have the 3 points.
Right, happy to have the 3 points. Mikel Arteta, coach of Arsenal, speaking after they beat Monaco yesterday by 3-0 in the UEFA Champions League. Of course, I'll bring you the draw before the table. Before I bring you the table, let's move on to Barcelona. Ferran Torres scored twice to help Barcelona win at Borussia Dortmund and move up to second on the league table. Rafinha gave Barcelona the lead, but Dortmund were gifted a penalty when teenage Segu Guirassy was pushed over by Pau Kubasi in the penalty area. The Guinean forward especially converted a spot kick, finding the bottom corner. Torres was then in the right place to tap in after Dortmund keeper Gregor Gobel had denied Fermin Lopez. Guirassy equalized for a second time in the closing stage, but of course Torres had the final say. Ferran Torres having the final say in the 85th minute with a low strike into the bottom corner. Here is manager Hansen Flick speaking. Of course, he had to return to Germany, this time facing Dortmund, and here's what he had to say after the game.
Please score 2 goals. one goal more than Dortmund. No, it's always so. It's very important for us that also the striker are pressing in the defense. So he's good, but also he's very fast, a very fast player. We need it today because behind of the last line from Dortmund we had. Yeah, you can see we have space when we play the right pass. Then it was really dangerous. But today I'm really happy with the performance of the team.
Right, so that's Hansen Flick, coach of Barcelona. He was impressed with his side's victory at Borussia Dortmund. So let's move on to some other games, and Tammy Abraham scored a late winner as AC Milan overcame Dodge Red Star Belgrade at the San Siro. Atletico Madrid beat Slovan 3-1. Lille recorded a 3-2 win over Sturm Graz. Spartak Prague suffered a 4-2 defeat. 2 Feyenoord. Stuttgart trashed Young Boys 5-1, and the game between Bologna and Benfica ended in a disappointing goalless draw, especially for investors. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so on European competitions tonight, Manchester United would be taking on the opponents in the Victoria Pleasant, yes, in the UEFA Europa League, and Coach Ruben Amorim says Dan Ashworth's shock exit is not the best situation, but believes the club's vision remains clear and unaffected. The departure of United sporting director was confirmed last Sunday after just 159 days with the club. Amorim spoke to the media for the first time since Ashworth's exit to preview the team's Europa League game at Victoria Pleasant today, and here's what he had to say.
The first thing I want to say that since the first day I felt great support from the ownership and for Omar, from Dan also, from Jason. So and Dan was part of that, and I'm really I felt a really support from Dan also. But this is football, and sometimes these things happen with players, with coaches. I know that is not the best situation, but the important thing is that we continue in our way. The path is really clear for everybody, and I think this can happen in football. The support from from everybody. So one person leaving don't change nothing. Of course, it's a bad situation, like I said, because we are talking of a human being, a professional that support us as a team. But I think the most important thing is that your vision is really clear, and that vision don't change if only one person leaves.
Right, of course, for Ruben Amorim, the vision is still there. The vision won't change. So there are fixtures in the Europa League tonight. But then let me bring you the table. First 8 in the UEFA Champions League. Liverpool on top, 18 points. Barcelona second with 15 points. Arsenal at third with 13. Leverkusen, Bayern Leverkusen are fourth with 13 points. Aston Villa, 13 points yet again. Inter Milan, 6th position. Stade Brest, Brest. Yes, our favorite team, 7th position, 13 points as well. And then Lille, 8th position with 13 points there. And you see the likes of Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, Atalanta, Juventus, Benfica, AS Monaco, Sporting CP, Feyenoord, Club Brugge, Real Madrid, Celtic, Manchester City are 22nd. They are closer to the elimination zone, yeah. And then PSV are 23rd, Dynamo Zagreb are 24th. Okay, let's me go. But before I do that, let's bring you fixtures in the Europa League tonight. Hoffenheim will take on FCSB. Ludogorets take on AZ Alkmaar. Malmo play Galatasaray. Olympiacos play FC 20. PAOK take on Ferencvaros. Roma take on SC Braga. And then Union Saint-Gilloise take on Nice. Victoria Pleasant would play Manchester United at 5:45 p.m. That's great for sports. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Don't forget to join us on the game at 1 p.m.